All right, and we're live again. I think that intermission was probably a little bit longer than 30 minutes, but I've been doing some talking and doing some cooking. All right, sound check's good. Got one watching, maybe me, because I just opened it up. But we're back. We're just going to have some bullshit. And whenever I get one of my guests decide to show up, I'm going to resume eating. All right, Rabbit. Welcome, Rabbit. We'll send you the an email invite so that you can come on in. Man of the hour. I already have a Sicily 810 and Joe Buddy linked. But I think the Cuck-a-Doodle-Doo is streaming and probably talking about me, so you know how that goes. All right, Dynamite, I sent you the link or emailed you an invitation. You can come on whenever you like. Like I said, when people start rolling in, I'll get to eat my dinner. Hey there, Rabbit.
Hey, Nemo. Can you hear me, Nemo?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I'm doing great. I got all that shit off my chest, so.
You know, I only got about 10 minutes into that video before I for some reason I didn't get the the what do you call it?
The notification.
The notification, yes. Like 5 syllables for, notification that you were going live. I was goofing off on other channels, and by the time it came up, you were just about done. So I went ahead and went to listen to it, and I'll tell you what, Nemo. I mean, I'm humbled, by your perspective on what happened Monday, because from what I've seen, very few people in this world will take a stand on what they believe is true, and whichever side of that fence, which I had no idea was even being built, that you fall on. I absolutely respect your conviction. Not just because you were, mortified by what was done to me, but I'll tell you what. When I was your age, I was always looking to cooperate with people, take the high road, and keep the peace, and sleep soundly at night, and not fucking rock the boat. And dude, you come out like a fucking raging magma spewing motherfucker.
About that shit
and
all
I don't
day.
care what the issue is. I mean, you could be pissed off about the treatment of dogs in China, and I would listen. I mean, your testosterone level must be through the fucking roof.
It is, and
so it much is, respect actually, to you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I spent most of my fucking 20s and my early, well, I'm still in my early 30s, I guess, till this October. But the first couple years of my 30s, just pleasing people, and it doesn't do wonders for your sleep. It doesn't do wonders for your emotional well-being, and it doesn't earn you any true friends because everybody just expects you to be a yes man. You can't have your own opinion.
Yeah, they all cuck you. They expect you to, stride blindly through the world, being steady Eddie, taking care of all their needs and not worrying about your own. It's time to stop fucking thinking like that. Like Mindframe says, man, it's figure out who you are, what you want from the world, look around, seek it, find it, slay it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't pussyfoot around.
Oh no, it's funny too, because I'll tell you what, when I was 7 years old, I was more macho than I was when I was 30, because I knew just enough to be a fucking Neanderthal, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it Jesus, I wish I could be young again. I would do things so differently. But
Yeah, I wish I could turn the clock back even 10 years. If I could be back in my 20s,
yeah,
I'd be a powerhouse.
I'll tell you what, though, from my experience, what I got done between my 30s and 40s, if I'd have known now what I knew then, fuck, I mean, I could be Spartacus, but our society doesn't want you to be Spartacus, and yet I could have been Spartacus anyway if I'd have had a fucking clue.
Yeah. If we would have known that all the type of shit that we've been taking in our brains watching these kinds of videos back then, we could have saved ourselves a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of heartache and built a better resolve.
Oh, yeah. Well, I, since you mention it, and it may not be related because in my own mind, I'm an INTJ, which makes me eccentric as fuck intellectually. And, the thing is, it never occurred to me that, as Replicant Fish says, the world is mine.
Mm-hmm.
I always figured that, when I was a kid, I had read Homer, I had read Julius Caesar's Chronicles, Winston Churchill's, 10-volume history on World War II. I'd read all these incredible works of men that got shit done. And when I looked out in the world, and when I looked out into the world, I was like, I don't know if there's actually any shit left to do. And so I went ahead and, I put my testosterone to sleep. I man-gined it up, fucked a whole shitload of girls. I simped. I fucking pussy begged. I worked my ass off. And, and then all of a sudden I'm 50 and I'm like, fuck.
Like, what happened? What the fuck happened?
I'm like, I could be standing on Mars right now, flipping Earth the middle finger if I realized what I could have been. That's the nature. That is the essence of manhood, and I missed it. I thought manhood was, like Blue Ball Brandon says, out fucking everyone.
I know.
What a fucking asshole I was.
Maybe the outworking. That working could still have done good, but goddamn, if I could have focused more 10 years ago on doing something other than trying to get into a warm, wet hole and pop out a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, the places you could go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and it cracks me up. These guys who these guys who try to. The thing is, to me, the essence of manhood is being able to stay above the fray. Like that old Rudyard Kipling poem that says, if you can keep your head when all around you is madness, and I'm paraphrasing, but you can look up Rudyard Kipling, and the poem is called If. It's an awesome fucking piece of literature, but and it's one that women will never fucking understand, but the thing is, like a few weeks ago when Brandon was bitching us out, screaming about how he will, out drink, out fuck, out whatever the rest of us, I was like, there's 8 billion people on the planet. Do you think out fucking the guy in the next room is anything new, bitch?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all out fucked our neighbor, buddy.
Yeah. And just because you could out fuck the guys in the chat room you're talking to doesn't mean that there's not 10 people standing right within earshot of you that can't out fuck you.
Well, especially when you've got 28 in the box, 25 likes, 16 dislikes. Isn't that right, baby?
That's right. You'll notice that lately my dislike to like ratio has kind of gotten to where Eli's used to be.
Yeah. You know why? It's because all those sock puppet accounts like John Wick are coming over to your channel and cucking for Eli. Who the fuck cucks for a cuck?
I think it. We'll try to keep drama free, but I think he's running those sock puppet accounts. I think, or at least
I have no idea.
He's paying somebody. He could be paying somebody to.
I'm not sure he has the overhead to pay anybody to do shit. But the thing is, like, like I see this wrench, Charles F. Gray, and it says, "God damn it, you fuckers, isn't that right, baby?" And even
That's
now,
right.
yeah, I'm thinking, if Charles F. Gray is in your chat, why isn't he calling in?
I don't know, but that is Charles, because he does have a wrench.
Oh, well, that's nice. See, here's the thing. I'm, like I said after Eli left on Monday and I calmed down, and I was able to actually have, a fun conversation with the guys in the room. I said it, I'm an old dog. New tricks. Yeah, they're a pain in the ass, especially since, you followed some of the conversations, as did Asystole, and I think Joe Buddy even, that I had with Eli back when I thought that he had, what do you call it? Good intentions.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I was very careful to not provide any information about my life that could result in my doxing. But, and I'm not a YouTube creator, so I wasn't that concerned about it anyway. But, like, here's Cool Cat's Gay Like You. I won't mind skinning Dynamite Rabbit and making him my sock puppet. Watch Monty Python, search for the Holy Grail, Cool Cat's Gay Like You, and you'll see Dynamite Rabbit take down about fucking 18 white knights. So fuck you. And, here's the thing, though. I am not real hip to sock accounts or any of these other weird ass fucking like counterinsurgency, bullshit things that people do on the internet. I try to find valid things that I can count on. Like, for instance, when I invest money, I have a company that I trust. They've done very well for me for 35 years. They have, and I have told them the amount of risk that I am willing to sustain for new technologies. Like, early on in the late 80s, I invested in, Sony and Nikon when they were going ape on digital cameras. And I invested everything I had in that, and it did well. Now, these guys are running on auto. I call them up once a year. Once a year, once a year I call this company and I say, "How's things looking?" And it's usually around tax time. And I'll say something like, I see medical marijuana and legal marijuana in Colorado and Washington look to be taken off. Can you transfer some of my low risk investments over to those stocks and fucking bet it all? And they're like, "YOLO, buddy, you do you." And a lot of that shit works out great. But I don't sit around here all day watching that shit. I've got better things to do. Like, once a month I have to do the the monthly cock measurement to make sure I'm still where I was before. I wouldn't want to try. I wouldn't put it in a one-on-one, knockdown takeout battle with Eli's microphone, but I'm satisfied with it because I'm not using it anymore.
I thought you were going to say Eli's micro penis, and then I was going to really laugh.
No. He doesn't have a micro penis. He's got a very big microphone, and but the thing is, it's not like I'm using my cock for anything anymore. It might as well be a jockey on my lawn. I piss out of it. I don't give a fuck about penises, man. I piss out of them.
JB's here, everybody. I didn't even know. It looks like
Asystole. Say something. Say something, Asystole.
He's either muted because he's either working and can't talk, or he wanted to let you monologue for a little.
No, I know what it is. His fucking dishwasher. No, it's not his dishwasher that's broken. Brandon's dishwasher is broken, and a Sisterly's dishwasher is running at fucking full bolt. But anyway,
I don't think that bitch could run if she wanted to.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, hang on a second. Like I said, I'm new to this game, but I'm gonna be doing some nutty stuff here because you got a guy in here that's being a fucking weasel dick.
Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of them.
Well, yeah, they're obviously they're all fucking rectum gerbil soldiers from Eli's channel.
Yeah,
Well,
I fired the first salvo in that war, and
yeah,
I guess I'm gonna listen to see what he does, but it's just gonna be typical
yeah.
shit.
It's so fucked too because like I never even encountered this shit before. Before I went on Eli's channel, and just talked to him, and I would watch the chat, and he's fucking slaughtering all these, sock puppet accounts, which Nemo, I hope you don't mind me calling you Nemo. It's just easier.
It's easier for everybody.
Yeah, and when I was a kid, actually, 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea was one of my favorite movies. So Captain Nemo's my fucking man. But the I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but if you go on YouTube and search Metallica sock puppets.
Oh yeah.
Have you done that?
No, I haven't, but I'm gonna
go. Fucking dude, you will crack up. I mean, I know you know Metallica. You're old enough to know Metallica.
I love Metallica.
There's actually a lot of sock puppet videos, but the sock puppets master is an absolute fucking riot. And be careful to watch the subtitles for when they say "and a pair of googly eyes." I mean, oh my god, it is so fucking funny. I mean, I watch it like once a month because every time I do, it makes me feel like a 14-year-old little girl at a Bon Jovi concert. I mean, I just I go ape for the Metallica sock puppets.
I'm gonna subscribe to their channel.
And I'm 55. I mean, the fact that I can still go ape, for Metallica sock puppets at 55 gives me hope for the future.
Wow. They got Pantera's Walk. Freaking, they got Slayer. They got Raining fucking Blood.
They do a fuckload of heavy metal on the sock puppet.
I love heavy metal. So,
well, and if you like sock puppets, you got your metal and your sock puppets in one.
I love sock puppets too. There used to be this show called Syphil and Holly.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Charles. Right. I see you got the link in good health.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if my mic was working. It when you mentioned that 14-year-old girl kind of situation, it kind of reminded me of like it'd be kind of the same thing as Coach Eli and Jamie's channel.
Every time I see Metallica sock puppets come up, I fucking freak out and rub my nipples. Isn't that right, baby?
That's right.
I don't. It's the memory is still fresh for me. I mean, yesterday was an extremely hard day for me, as was Tuesday. But today I'm actually in very good spirits, and I don't want to fuck with him at all. I honestly don't. To me, he's just gone.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, he's gone. He fucked.
No, that's okay. I mean, hey.
Monday. And well, here's what happened. Charles, let me explain this. Mm-hmm. I was highly animated during our talk. Because for 45, I clicked into your show the moment it came on, and I sent I sent you the link, I think, or asked you to send me the link, and then I had to wait 45 minutes while that guy fucking sowed conspiracy theories and insinuated all kinds of fucking evil intentions, knowing exactly who he was talking about, and for 45 minutes, all I had running through my head was what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
Yeah.
So by the time you let me on and announced my weight incorrectly, by the way, but it was a good guess.
Okay, good.
I was fucking fried. I was, dude, like the tour I did in Iraq, I was cool as a cucumber. Because shit was that fucking serious. when I used to recover suicide victims from the Golden Gate Bridge area, back in '96 when Eli was a kid dreaming about scoring the big poontang, you know, life was fucking serious for me for 30 years.
Yeah,
you know, and most people ran around lining up at the new IKEA opening without a clue. And I sucked that stuff up. That's what a real man does. You know, you fucking, when just EMTs, firefighters, police, some people in government, they see things that the people running back and forth from Walmart and bitching about people who don't let up on the fucking brake at the red lights fast enough will never know.
Yeah.
This is a brutal fucking world, and it's orchestrated in such a way that most people will never see it. And strong men like me, or like I was, I'm not that strong anymore. I tapped out when I was done. I did 30 years and I said, I've had a fucking enough. And I decided to embrace my inner 14-year-old girl and go to concerts and scream and yell. And but anyhow, and I forget where I was going with that. Damn it. God, fucking,
God damn it.
Quality ale will cock block you the moment you're about to make your point.
There you go.
But what I really wanted to say, Charles, is I truly appreciate you fucking, shouting out for Zeitgeist Eater. And cool. I absolutely love your fucking icon, and I never had a chance to mention it before. But that zombie looking motherfucker, when I see that, I know you're not him. But I consider that he may be your spirit animal, and it's a good one to have.
Well, actually, that image, I don't know if I told you guys this or I may have mentioned on a show, but I was in a short film called Zero, where that is me in zombie makeup.
Holy shit! Wow, that's is fucking good. Wow. No, I'm fucking flabbergasted by that information. That is fucking right on, Charles.
Man, I'll have to try and get you. I'll have to try and get you the scene or something like that.
Yeah.
I know the film, like, it's been shown, but it hasn't been like released in a format yet. But I mean, if I can try and get you like at least the elevator scene, and fuck, I'm insane. It was a wild ride, I'll tell you that.
Fucking undead movie star. It doesn't get better than that.
I know the three of us would like to see that scene.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'll find a way. Where there's a will, I'll find a way to get you guys something.
Excuse me.
Here's the thing.
Don't keep Eli's dick so close to you. You're gonna choke.
Yeah, don't choke on Big John. Big John's got work to do. He's over there at SFM making the world a better place for men. He doesn't have time for you to be gagging on his microphone.
He's got business to attend to in the rectum of two people.
Yeah. Well, I think where I was going with that, all that bullshit about, like in the mid '90s, my unit devoted most of their recovery time searching for and recovering the bodies of guys who had been diagnosed with AIDS and jumped off the San Francisco Bay Bridge.
Oh, shit.
Or I'm sorry, the Golden Gate Bridge.
Right.
And, because our station is right there at the foot of the bridge on the north side. And we really appreciated the guys that wore denim, like denim jackets and jeans, because they didn't fucking explode when they hit the water. But these guys... But these guys who would like put on the fucking satin gym shorts and a tank top, we'd find them in pieces. And it was gruesome. And the thing is, though, sometimes they float and sometimes only parts of them float. It was
swell up like a bastard.
But yeah, well, that's only if you don't get to them in time. But we had a pissed off boyfriend who'd been cucked by his girlfriend at Pier 70 in Seattle, decided to charge his Jeep through a crowd of people, and thank God he didn't hit any of them. And when he hit the brakes, Seattle's always wet, right?
Yeah.
And when he hit the brakes, and I'm sure he didn't intend for this to happen, He went straight through the fucking guard, the handrail, and wound up in 45 feet of water at the bottom, hanging out with the crabs and the sea anemones, right there by Pier 70, where everybody was, pimping, and the music was going boom, 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 and this guy died.
Wow.
And the next day, we got a call because our office in downtown Seattle looked down at the water and said, "Hey, there's an oil sheen coming from Pier 70." And when I paused for a moment, and I was like, nobody uses oil at Pier 70. Are you fucking retarded? And so they said, well, please go check it out. So I got in the GV, and a government vehicle, and I hauled ass up Alaskan Way, went out on Pier 70, and holy shit, there was indeed a sheen at Pier 70. So I called in a dive company, and they went down there and they said, oh yeah, there's a Jeep down here with leaky, fucking this, that, and the other thing, and the driver. And I was like, oh, great. Jeez. I was like, marvelous day. And so anyway, I, while they were setting up to pull that Jeep out, I walked down to Ivor's kiosk, and I got some salmon and chips and a Coke, and I walked back up there. And while they were pulling this bloated, dead motherfucker, dumbass, mate guarding, reckless driving asshole out of the water, I was munching on salmon and chips, and like the other night or the other day, Eli's on his channel, talking about how I must have PTSD and men with depressive emotional, whatever disorder, whatever the fuck that pussy bullshit is, need help. And I just want to help these guys. I love them all, even though I, betray them and fuck them over on the internet on a daily basis. And I'm like, Eli, some of us are stronger than you. I can eat salmon and chips and fucking dip my fries in ranch sauce while watching some poor dead motherfucker get pulled out of Puget Sound.
Right.
Well said.
Wow. Yeah. Holy shit.
Did I feel sorry for the guy? In a way. Did I think he was the joke of the fucking? Did I think he was the joke of the fucking universe once I found out how he fucking wound up there? Yeah, I laughed my ass off.
Yep.
He wound up 45 feet underwater, pissed off, strapped into his Jeep because his bitch pissed him off.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, Rabbit.
Exactly. Thank God for you guys. I love you guys. I love all of you, man. Ain't that right, baby?
That's
right. You got to remember,
right.
Rabbit, I worked EMS for 6 years. We could probably trade war stories all fucking day long.
I'm sure we could. But, I think let me backtrack a little bit because there has been some static online, and quite frankly, I'm surprised by it about what happened not only on Charles's stream, Monday night, but in response to Eli's, live stream afterward. And of course, everybody, throwing darts at a dartboard they can't see, coming up with all kinds of fucking conclusions about my mental health and Eli's intentions. And nowhere near that fucking playing field is the truth. But the thing is, there are men who fucking endure the worst in this world with the kind of objective, you put these memories in dark boxes in your mind and you don't let them affect you. That doesn't mean you don't have empathy, but you get beyond them as fast as you can so you can get back out there and do your fucking duty.
Right.
That's what it is to be a man. The only reason I was really pissed and started commenting on some of the threads was because not only, I wasn't that offended that Eli, kept asking me the same question over and over again, no matter how many different ways I answered it.
Yeah.
But But afterward, he goes on this like late night show, and within like the first minute and a half, he said, you know, somebody said, you know, you going to talk about Dynamite Rabbit? And he said, oh yeah, we'll get to that. And then he never got to that during that show. So I sat up until like 4 a.m. because I actually was concerned about what he was going to say.
Yeah.
And it was a complete waste of my time, except, and I have no idea what King of MGTOW is about. I'm guessing he has no throne whatsoever because he lives in Canada. And, you know, I live in Arizona, for instance, and the common schmuck in Arizona has open carry rights. And the rules that applied in 1875 in the main street on Tombstone still apply now.
Yeah.
And we have people, Charles, living in Canada, you would freak out if you came to Arizona, because I can walk into a family diner with a 45 on my hip and nod to 10 other guys that also have 45s on their hip. And yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. It's
but
not
you know what it does? No, but you know what it does?
It stops somebody from calling another man a big fucking pussy, right?
Yes, it sustains manners and respect.
Exactly.
Let's fly Eli out to Arizona.
That's 5 minutes in this state.
That's the plan.
Hat.
An armed society is a polite society.
It sure as fuck is. You know, for a while I had no firearms because I was in a state where I thought there was a risk I might turn them on myself years ago. And that was not an emotional thing. You know, I like when I first found out that my second marriage was indeed going in the tank, and you know, there is no such thing as marriage counseling or coming to some kind of agreement that will recover your marriage once your wife is colored that far out the lines. Okay, at least not for me. I mean, once I realized she was coloring outside the lines, I had absolutely no respect for her, no regard for her. You know, she could come home, she could, you know, eat food out of the fridge, but given the opportunity, I would have been scraping her off my boot like a fucking piece of bubble gum. And I went into self-protection mode at that point. And at first, when I found out, though, I was upset about it. And I was cleaning my guns almost exactly to the moment that I found out. I had my guns, I had the firearms I owned at the time all out, cleaning them, reassembling them, checking the action, you know, checking the, you know, verifying proper operation, the whole bit. I looked at my 45 as I, you know, racked around and, you know, I racked around and then dropped the magazine and, you know, ran the slide back to eject the round that was in the chamber.
Right.
And I said to myself, this is as bad as my life is ever going to get. And if I can get through this night, I can fucking endure whatever's coming. And so, you know, I stacked everything away and, you know, I put it all back where it belonged. And I watched an episode of Stargate Atlantis and everything was cool.
Good.
Wow. Well, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, if I pray that none of you guys wind up in that situation. And to anyone listening here, we got 9 watching now. 10 watching now. 10 in the box. 4 likes. 10 down thumbs. Oh fuck! But yeah, if any of you ever are seconds away from making, you know, from adopting a permanent solution to a temporary problem, put it down, get through your night, and plan. That's my advice.
Good advice.
Yeah. Take a second to breathe before you kick your air addiction and take a permanent dirt nap.
Yeah, because it's not worth it, man.
No.
You know, the people who drive you to that state aren't worth your time. And until you know, liberate yourself from those circumstances, you know, once you come out on the other end, you look back and you're like, you know, that was the dumbest traffic jam I ever got stuck in. I can't believe. You know, I mean, it's so trivial when you look back at it, you know, and then you laugh and, you know, you tip a fucking jigger of Jameson and say, fuck it.
Yep. Yeah. Once the smoke clears, you'll realize that if you would have done something stupid like that, you would have deprived yourself and everybody else in the world a chance at knowing what it's truly like to be yourself.
Well, the other thing is you haven't yet finished becoming yourself either, and you know, I've had two friends in my adult life, just my adult life. I've had two friends who committed suicide, and one who OD'd, and you know, the one who OD'd was actually one of these super edgy girlfriends. Who, you know, while she liked me, I wasn't bad boy enough and I wasn't enough fun for her. So she hooked up with the bassist in the band I was in, who was a guy I had very little respect for. He was great on the bass, but his lifestyle was going nowhere. And one night I got, you know, I had a knock on my door, and, you know, there was a policeman. And he said, you know, do you know so-and-so? I'd tell you her name, but, you know, well, there's no point. Her name was Mallory. But everybody, her parents named her Mallory because they knew she'd be a redhead. And they were like, Copper Top, you know, name her Mallory. And anyway, yeah, it was fucking bizarre, man. I mean, you know, she hooked up with the bass player in the band I was jamming with at the time. I think it was about 1985. And within 2 weeks, you know, they'd OD'd her, basically. And by they, I mean all the dudes that used to hang around her house zoning out on heroin and shit. And when I called her parents and I said I'd like to attend the funeral, and they said, fuck you, we don't even know who you are. And yeah, I was like, I was the one guy who could have made a life with her.
Yeah.
You know? But she ditched my ass, and you know, so you know, these things happen, and you know, hopefully they never happen to you. But if they do happen to you, you know, you got to make a little cube for them in your head. You know, remember them for the time you had, and don't let their decision influence your worldview. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah,
no, they
don't
they did what they did.
Shit.
Yeah, they did what they did, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Yeah,
hey,
you
listen,
only have control of your decisions. Go ahead, Charles.
Sorry to interrupt. Listen, folks, I got to go in about 5 minutes. I didn't know you're going to do another live stream. I ended up making plans to go to the pub, as irresponsible as that may seem.
Do it, man. Do it.
No, I'm drinking like bourbon right now, so go take back some old Milwaukee's for us, Charles.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. But what I wanted to say or whatever is when I did the Monday show or whatever, and Eli wanted to be on. I mean, that's fine, whatever, not a big deal. I don't mind people sharing the show or whatever. But yeah, I mean, when I know I don't mean to go over this again and again, but basically,
go for it. You know, go for it.
He basically, like, when he was basically so concerned about, you know, where you spend your money, Dynamite Rabbit, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, oh no. And I was hoping he was going to get off the topic, and he just kept going with it. And I tried to give him my viewpoint, not to be concerned about it. You can't be. It's the other person can do what they want. And then fuck yeah, I mean, it was like he put his foot in his mouth, and I don't think he saw it that way even like after the fact, like even after you express that, like I think he felt bad. I think he was sorry for what he said, but I don't think he understood what he said, if that makes any sense.
Well, here's the thing, you know, it's become clear to me that Eli thinks like a girl. And when you think like a girl, you will eventually feel shame, but in the moment you'll never feel guilt.
Yeah.
You know? He fights like a girl too.
It's never,
you know, and that's it. And you know, I'll tell you, it took me a while to digest what just happened, because I was like, why the fuck did I go nuts like that? And and I'll tell you, if I hadn't had to wait about 40 minutes before answering his question, while he sowed these fucking bizarre ass WikiLeaks conspiracy stories about, I mean, I don't care that, a man wants to spend money on another YouTuber.
But you did it for Ken too. You did it for Michelle.
Who may or may
giving
not.
It to me. I deserve your shackles. We're friends. You should give me all your money.
Yeah, but he didn't even say it that way,
female tactic. No, but that's the subtext.
That's
I
what
read that subtext. I know you can too.
Yeah, but by the to cut to the chase, Charles, kind of thing, kind of thing. By the time I came on your stream, I had a 17-paragraph, 5,000-word dissertation I wanted to deliver to his fucking rooster crowing ass.
Yeah.
And I was so fucking angry.
Yeah.
That I was, oh my God. Yeah. It wasn't, the subject that pissed me off. It was the waiting.
Yeah, it was bizarre. It was really bizarre for sure.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to steer him almost away. I was trying to steer him away from that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give him that, and then he'd drop it, but then he just kept going. And I had to stagger out the guess because it's the way I kind of wanted to do it. So
yeah, I understand, Charles. I thought the way you did it was fucking cool.
That was a great premise to do a Royal Rumble style, because that way you give each individual person, some time where it's just their spotlight.
Yeah, for sure.
And Eli likes to fucking monologue like he's on a soap opera, so he takes up lots pirate of live streams, I think.
Well, the thing is, the way you did it reminded me of Running Man. Fucking hysterical, because they didn't let all those guys out at once into the same playing field. They would stagger them out about a half hour apart.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There'd be no movie if they let them all out at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, the movie could be 15 minutes long.
But what I just want to say before I take off here is, I do have belief in the whole MGTOW mirror project. I really do. I think it's great that Zeitgeist Theater is doing that, and I was glad to do the video on it, because I think it's important, because I think the stuff does need to be backed up, and you can't trust YouTube. I could go to my account tomorrow and it could be deleted. Who knows, right?
You betcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I told everybody to mirror that big spiel I just did, because I'm sure it could get taken down or something. But I need to watch your videos, because I'd like to kick whatever money I can to Zeitgeist, because that's a really good that's a good service he is providing to people to keep the content backed up. They're new content, so you can keep watching it in case YouTube decides be a woman and take it down.
Well, and along with the old content, because there's exemplary men like Spetsnaz who 15 years ago showed us the way, and he deserves to be remembered. Okay,
he does. I love Spetsnaz.
Yeah,
I love his content.
You know what I love about Spetsnaz is he doesn't often actually talk about women or MGTOW. He talks about the down, the nitty gritty on the asphalt, rubber hitting the road, what it is to be a man stuff.
Yeah, like the male psyche, and that's such a great topic.
Oh yeah, what's funny though is he delivers the most brutal topics. I mean, topics that once you're done listening to them, if you have any weakness in your soul, will actually give you no hope for the future. But he delivers them in a way that's so smooth and so gentle that you're like, oh yeah, man, I can handle that shit.
I think it's that smooth Aussie accent.
It's it's like this, Nemo. Hello and welcome. Tonight I'd like to talk about.
That's good.
Yeah, it's like butter.
That's very good.
Well,
that's butter.
My favorite Australian vernacular because I spent years down there. The one thing that I ever heard an Aussie say that stuck with me for the rest of my life was, "Oh, for Christ's sake, mate, Jesus, were we busy? We were flat out like a lizard drinking."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a real thick Australian, mate.
That's great. Yeah. Fair dinkum.
Yeah, Aussies don't have sex; they mate.
Yeah,
well, what Aussies do is, if they happen to wind up simultaneously, they spend the rest of the day wondering who the fuck that was.
Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sneak up on him, and I'm gonna jam my thumb in his butthole.
Oh man!
But hey, you guys, have a great rest of the stream and that kind of thing.
You too, Charles.
Have a great time at the pub.
I gotta say one thing to you, Charles. Stay on.
Yep.
Okay. You know, I messaged you today.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, let me put it this way: if you don't wind up with a new camera on your desk, and you just had a great night fucking pounding down some ales, that's enough for me, brother.
Yeah. By the way, before you leave, how far off are you for your camera?
I'll put it this way. When I go out, I usually get the beer. I mean, I like beer anyways, but I get the beer at a good deal. So after 9 o'clock, it's $3.50 a pint. So that isn't actually too bad, right?
And that's Canadian too, correct?
Yeah, it's Canadian too. So that'd be like $2 US or something, or $2.50 US. So
that's some good cheap beer.
Yeah, not too bad. So I just figured it's the only kind of evening this week that I can actually go out and do this and still get the good deals. So gonna go out there and have a good time.
Good for you. Get it done. That's what men do. We get it done.
But good talking to all of you and seeing all of you.
Good to see Charles F. Gray. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. If you find a lady, just piss on her face for JB Gunner.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just right. I'll do that. Yeah.
Enjoy the pub. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Right on.
Drink a beer.
Take care, guys.
Bye, Charles.
Right on. Bye.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, I got one thing I got to get off my chest is, I was no, seriously. I wouldn't say I was worried, but I've through the past month and a half, this is the first time I've ever had, online relationships with dude thousands of miles away from me. And it was fun. And I thank Charles and Eli for giving me that opportunity. And one of my concerns was, I was like, holy shit, he's I've touched the kryptonite. And now if I ask to come on anybody else's stream, they're going to treat me like fucking herpes, I had thought of that and laid awake about it for a while because this was a new thing for me.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a presence like having friendships on the internet, because I usually don't keep friendships at all. I don't trust people enough, but it's nice to, even though Eli has kind of fucked us all up in our own special way, I guess you could say, it's nice to meet some like-minded men and be able to have some, good conversations when we don't let somebody overtake things and just run with it. Names not being mentioned, but everybody knowing who we're talking about. So thanks Eli for that, for giving me some people that I actually enjoy talking to. But I actually appreciate Charles a lot. He'll come on my streams, and in the grand scheme of things, some guy that's got 1,300 people watching him shouldn't come to a dude's channel who has like 140 people. Most of them maybe not being even real people, but it builds camaraderie and common bonds around men, and most don't ask for anything in return, and it's a wonderful thing that can happen in today's day and age, where we're all meant to be in competition with each other over which salmon smelling hole we want to get into. They market it as salmon, but it's mostly like old dried out river carp.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Isn't that right, Joe, buddy?
That's right.
Well, that's like that simulated crab people buy at Safeway. You know, I don't. Are any of you guys familiar with the fishing industry?
From what I've seen on the Discovery Channel.
Joe is. Joe knows about the fishing industry.
Very little.
Oh, okay. Well, you know that simulated crab. You know, when they say it's cheaper, it's cheaper at the grocery store than the real crab. Basically, what that stuff is all of the trash fish that the fishermen don't have to report to the National Marine Fishery Service, and so we're talking stuff like skates, and just species of fish that aren't food fish. And what they do is they take the meat from those and they put them in a processing plant along with the exoskeletons of the crabs that they drew. Like they'll take off the crab legs and box them and charge $8 a pound for them. And all the crab bodies and the shit that isn't edible, they will throw in those vats for like 3 to 7 days. And so it bleaches out and imparts the flavor of the crab into the cod or the skate, stingray, whatever, right? And then what they they process that shit, dye it red, right? And then market it as yeah, and then they market it as simulated crab, and it tastes a little crabby, and it looks a little funny, and it's kind of rubbery, and I mean that stuff is not worth the savings. I mean it'll literally nauseate you if you eat enough of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the chicken nugget. It's like the chicken nugget of the sea.
It's like the woman that says, "I'm not like other girls."
Yeah, I'm a simulawalt.
I'm not like those other girls. You can trust me. Imitation crab meat, be gone. You stink like single mother and trout.
I was gonna say I kind of dig artificial crab meat in a good shrimp lo mein at a Chinese buffet, but that's probably about it.
Well, that's the thing. If you take it to the next level and add some duck sauce to it, it's passable. But if you're, if you're advertising a crab appetizer for your guests, I'm not sure that simulated crab's the way to go.
No.
Oh, it's nice to have things be calm right now. Yeah. I'm still kind of coming down from that anger high that I was on a couple hours ago.
Yeah, well, Nemo, you know what what I find really important within the company of men is to drink alcohol and talk about shit that doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly, and we're doing just that, or at least I'm drinking alcohol.
Simulated crab fucking doesn't matter, trust me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what else doesn't matter?
Yes,
YouTube monetization.
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm looking forward to getting my $20 check because I haven't hit that $100 threshold. So they're actually going to send me my fucking money.
Hey, Nemo.
Monetize me. Yeah, go ahead.
And this is for Joe and his sisterly as well. Are you familiar with a channel called Barbara #4 capital U #2 capital C, Barbara for you to see?
No, but I heard you mention her, and I'm gonna have to look her up.
Dude, she's
other than her content, is she hot? So is there eye candy?
Yes. Oh, absolutely, she's hot.
Excellent.
And she's a first generation Slovenian immigrant.
Oh God, points, double points.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Barbara for you to see has 2 channels. She's got Barbara for you to see, where she talks about politics, gender relations, stupid bullshit, stuff that happened to her today that tells her the world is fucking bullshit, right? And she's got another channel called Barbara for U2C. It's an acronym.
Yeah.
LOL. On her Barbara for U2C LOL channel, she talks about the things that no self-respecting girl her age would mention, but she does it anyway. And the girl is fucking hysterical, and she's mature beyond her years, in my opinion. And the reason I mentioned it is because, you know, I support all kinds of YouTube creators, and she's one of them. And I mean, this is a young girl trying to find her way in the world with she's got a lot more left brain going on than most of these mangina cucks I see nowadays. And but she's funny too, you know. And Nemo, I think you'll be pleased when she comes up on your screen.
Can you give me
you asked me?
What's the name?
I just subscribed just by looking at her face. I mean, she's pretty fucking hot.
Yeah,
I don't see the LOL channel.
I don't know if that's called simping, but you know.
No, it's not simping. It's Joe. Was that you asking that?
Yeah, I see the main channel, but I don't see the one that has LOL in it.
She might have a link to it.
Never mind. I see a link.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, you know, she uses the little, you know, like bullshit, you know, facade behind her when she talks. But what she has down that's fucking hysterical is, you know, like a lot of guys get on YouTube, you know, and they look straight at the camera and they talk until it's over, right? And she does all these silly ass little things like look off to the side or roll her eyeballs or stuff like that when she's talking that just fucking cracked me up. And you know, I'm not cucking for Barbara, you know, because I'm like 55.
No, it should be like your daughter, right?
My granddaughter. # no perv.
But, don't even. You can perv. Come on, we're all men here. We're all thinking the same kind of shit. Even if we're not using our dicks, we can at least appreciate a hot fucking woman.
You know what? After the Me Too campaign hit the bricks, I went over to RLSD and I ordered a 21st century replacement woman who will never hit the wall.
Oh, you got one of them sexual dolls, don't you?
Hey, you know, what can I tell you? I was influenced by the arguments of a chimp. But
yeah, you know, TFM his
he also puts things where the sun don't shine.
Well, you know, he does what he does, but when he puts stuff where the sun don't shine, it's because he's been asked to do so by someone he's reviewing. You know, so what are you going to do?
He's got to make his money, and he doesn't. He's transparent. He says
Eli,
it's sponsored content.
$20 is $20.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eli, you could get a lot more money than Rabbit could ever give you if you would just stick some shit up your butt for pay. I mean, you're doing it already for free with Big John.
Oh,
so why not make some shackles with it, son?
Damn.
Oh, hey, Max J. Aren't you one of why are you here? Is Eli not streaming?
Max is a
I'm
good
sorry,
guy.
Matt. I'm sorry, Max. I don't want to be guilt by association, but because that's, you know, that's the precarious position that all four of us are in right now. Are you choking on a dick? Is that an imitation of Eli?
That was Rabbit spitting up pellets.
Oh, wow. Did your alfalfa get wasted? I'm sorry,
I
brother.
I was yakking my alfalfa pellets, man.
Well, damn, then you just paid Eli by proxy.
His fur is matted.
Well, you know, there's only so many ways you can express yourself on a hangout.
That's true. You know, when you're not doxing yourself.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about getting doxed. And in fact, I'm thinking about filming up some content. You know, I'll call my channel, you know, Old Man Says What, you know, whatever. But
you modeling after Karen Strawn a little bit there.
Yeah, Old Man Says What, you know, and I'll put the camera on for 5 seconds and shout what.
You could actually make money that way. Eli, if you ever watch this, write this shit down. We're giving you free money-making techniques. We're your life coach.
I just want to thank everyone on my channel. I just broke 1,000 subs, and I couldn't be happier. What?
Oh, yeah, Max. That stream was not good. Hey, JB Gunner, how you doing? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the shit show. We just shooting
Good
shit.
to see you. Good to see you.
If you haven't watched it already, Mr. Gunner, you're gonna want to piss on a bitch's face. But go watch my last stream that I did about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, whatever the fuck time it is. I fucking got Cook Shady pretty good. Cook Shady and Shamu are dead in the water. Pun intended.
JB has been burning up the fucking internet today. He posted like 5 videos today.
Yeah, and unmonetized because he's a fucking man that doesn't need money from YouTube. Even I'm monetized, so JB's got more integrity than me. Fuck yeah.
Hey, while I'm thinking about it, Bearded, why don't you have any links on your channel to Patreon or PayPal?
Well, that's a go ahead.
I want to buy you some fucking beers, motherfucker.
Well, you know what? I have your email address, so I'll send you my PayPal link privately. Okay. But don't feel the need to spend any of your money on me. But I'm not going to tell you not to because I'm not a fucking cuck. But
I spent the Bearded. Let me. I don't mean to interrupt you like Eli interrupts Dana. But let me tell you something. I spent the first 50 years of my life doing what I needed to do. Now I do what I want, and I live cheap as fuck. Everybody seems to think I'm rich. I'm not. I'm not affluent. I live on about $25 a day. I have generated enough to pass on to my nephews, and when I die, they will never have to work again.
Goddamn.
I don't touch that money because I want those boys to fucking rule this planet on their own terms when I'm gone. And
yes, sir.
Everything else I give to MGTOW. And I know you say you're purple pill, but you will comprehend the error of your ways, son, and you will come to MGTOW.
Well, I don't identify as either, actually. Anymore.
I know. You're your own man. I mean, the first half of the stream you threw up today proves that you're your own man. Jesus, I wish I'd have been as fucking awesome as when I was your age. I could have fucking ripped this planet a new asshole if I had that kind of fucking chutzpah.
Oh well, thank you. But I don't know what I was gonna say. Thank you, Bourbon. Thank you, Bourbon.
Yeah, there you go.
But I really don't know where I was fucking going with this, gentlemen.
I'm just telling you that it frustrates me that I don't know how to throw you some bucks.
All right. Well, I'll send you a PayPal link. That's the thing. I don't do this for money, but if anybody wants to give it to me, I'm not going to say, no, you can't give me anything because I think that's rude. If somebody wants to do something for you.
Elton John is a fucking legendary singer. He's an incredibly huge celebrity. I mean, he takes it up the ass and sings it out every night. Ain't that right, baby?
That's right. No, I also like Phil Collins. He's not gay at all. He's a great singer and songwriter. Dude, fuck you. If you knew your Genesis, you wouldn't be saying shit about Phil Collins in the positive.
Yeah, Peter Gabriel, for goddamn sure.
Gabriel, fucking classic. Nursery Crime. Come on. That is a perfect fucking prog rock album, and everybody knows it. Invisible Touch, go fuck yourself.
Well, that's the difference between pop and rock.
Exactly. The only good thing on that piece of shit Genesis record was fucking Land of Confusion. I'll give them props for that. But that's about it.
Have you heard Disturbed's version of it?
Yes, it's fucking excellent.
Much better. Yeah,
way better.
Just handed it to David Draymond and said, "Run with it, buddy."
Dude, they do great. They do great covers.
Oh yeah, and the video's bitching. But my favorite Disturbed video is actually The Animal because I like all the snarly wolves.
Yeah, I can't think of my favorite Disturbed video. No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Look up Disturb the Animal, because they got all these snarly, gnashing wolves that, they're hissy pissy, and well, I'm just a rabbit. I'd be fucking terrified on that set. But, oh yeah. But I'm not going to take it up the ass. I'm just saying, if I had been, as a fuzzy little white rabbit, if I'd have been on the set of the Disturb the Animal video, I would have died before I hit the ground. Scary shit. Fucking that video kicks ass.
Oh, they make great videos, but I actually like that whole 10,000 Fists album. It's got a lot of really good songs, and I really dug when I broke up with my latest ex. That song "Pain Redefined" off of that album really got me fucking pumped up a lot of nights.
Yeah. Well, David Draymond has endured a lot of fucking hell in his life. And, when he showed up, like I have a tattoo to commemorate the year that I became a Disturbed one. It's huge on my chest. But the David Draymond, he was on a few mix-up albums before Queen of the Damned came out. And when I saw him credited on Queen of the Damned, I was like, this guy's fucking going places. Righteous,
Yeah, he's a great fucking front man.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people give bands like that flack because they were in that whole, if you were around the whole new metal thing where it was a lot of rap rock and all that shit. Like back when Korn got really popular in the mid-90s, it's when I started really getting into music. And it's like every other band was coming out trying to sound like Korn. And Disturbed kind of got lumped into that category, but ever since it was really only the Sickness that was like that, from
well, the Sickness is a fucking brutal song.
That's great.
The Sickness pulls no punches.
It's a fucking great album. That cover of Shout by Tears for Fear.
That's great. Yep.
That album was filled with a lot of really good stuff, but I think they got pigeonholed. But then when what was the second one that came out? Fuck.
The second one was 10,000 Fists.
No, that was the third one. The one before.
No, that's right. Yeah.
The one that had prayer on it.
I know. You're Believe.
Believe, yes. That album fucking took them to a new level, and then they've been getting better and better ever since.
You betcha.
Wise Night Owl. Yes, I could use extra shekels for my bourbon fund, but this is the thing. I agree with Whoosh Whoosh that MGTOW and the whole men movement, whatever you want to fucking call it, philosophy, it's not a marketplace. But if you want to give money, you can give it, but people shouldn't be begging for it. Don't say give me 8,000 shekels because I need a new bicycle.
Okay, Nemo, let Joe buddy
go ahead.
Help you out. Guys in the chat and anyone who listens to this replay, Coach Eli said he's up to $117 in AdSense revenue. Now, wouldn't you like Nemo to make more money than Eli?
Fuck yeah.
So
don't.
We need to get Nemo at least $120.
Don't give that rainbow pill cuck of the year, whatever his name is today, any more ammo to use in his video against me, which is coming probably tonight or tomorrow. So
you can damn near count on it after your last video.
He just went live, by the way.
Oh, look, he did.
Guys, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this topic, but I'm gonna mention, I'm gonna mention this guy who likes to walk around out in the forest. But but for now, I want to tell you all about how we're taking our channel in a new direction. And meanwhile, the guy who likes to walk around out in the forest and that other dude over in Thailand. And there's another guy who thinks that MGTOW is freedom, and all these guys, I just want to save them. I love them all like brothers, and I just want to save them. But if I get half the chance, I'm gonna fucking ram it right up their asses without lube.
I love you like a brother, man, but here's 8,000 things that I don't like about you and I think are bullshit, and you're a big fucking pussy. Isn't that right, baby?
That's right. And don't let me catch you dropping the soap in the shower.
That's his favorite game is drop the soap.
Yeah. Are you listening to him somewhere else? I thought I heard him in the background.
That might be me. I was trying to listen to him, but I have headsets on. I didn't realize the mic was picking
That's all right, Joe. Well, no, it's not that loud. I just heard him in the background, you know, kind of like the same amount of noise, that a, you know, an asteroid the size of a Coke can makes when it passes overhead at 5 miles.
I was just seeing if he's going to mention Nemo's name or not.
Oh, I'm
sure.
He
probably will.
It won't take him long. Did he just go live?
That's his game.
Yes.
Oh, that's us. Rabbit, we are the topic of his discussion.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, good.
I didn't hear your name.
Well, you know why? You know why, Bearded, is because, you know, he came on Charles's show already triggered about things that he thought was happening in a side of the manosphere that he's never been part of, but feels that he is qualified to comment on and, you know, fucking manipulate. However, now anyone who like doesn't jump right in his pocket and say, yeah, fuck Chris Cantu, fuck Chris Cantu, fuck him now, hard. Anyone who doesn't say that is gonna get a video. I mean,
I'm on his video right now, muted it, and I'm telling him to go fuck himself. So,
well, hey Nemo, I have one piece of advice for you.
Yes, please tell me before I hit the wrong button.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Let him say what he's gonna say, because even if you try to rebut whatever he's saying, he's going to say it anyway. Yeah. And if he's interrupted, it will just take longer and there will be more videos. And that one of the things that fucked me up in the early part of this week was not what happened Monday night, but the fact that the fallout took 2.5 days to calm down. Even though I was all back in my happy place. And I was typing as objectively as possible, right?
Yeah.
And he was still on like it was Monday night going, what do you think about that? What do you think about a man that, you know, I supported, I let him on my channel, I boosted his reputation. And meanwhile, I'm like, I'm not a YouTuber. I have absolutely zero videos. I benefit not one motherfucking anchovy's testicle from going on your show, bitch.
Oh, I don't know who this not guilty is, but he's got some good advice here in the chat.
Oh, does he? Okay,
best to go no contact with Eli and not even talk about him. But I know it's impossible. It's only impossible right now because the wounds are still fresh. And I don't mean to sound like an emotional thinker.
You're not.
I'm not.
No,
but
you're not.
When somebody that you think is your friend decides to fucking lambaste you and assassinate your character without you even there to fucking defend yourself,
ba-bam.
And that's why I did that tonight. I did not let him in because he does that shit to everybody, and he did it to Rabbit, who's been on his show how many times? 5 or 6, 7?
I have no idea. You know, here's what used to happen. Nemo is I found his show because he came up in my suggested column on the right.
Yeah.
And it said, relationships in the 21st century, is it possible? And being an open-minded, objective guy, I was like, holy shit. You know, in 2 years of watching MGTOW videos and feminist videos, I've never seen anybody ask that question. So I clicked on it thinking that this was a guy who wanted to be a positive force for everyone. My mistake, duh. And anyway, I clicked on it and got in his chat and, said a few things. And it was nothing crazy. In fact, all I said was, I am MGTOW Monk. My decision. YOLO, you do you.
Oh, yeah. Right? That was like catnip.
I had no idea it would be catnip. And next thing I know, I'm getting fucking, messages from Eli saying, I'd like to interview you about what happened in your life to make you go MGTOW Monk. And I emailed him back and I said, nothing made me go MGTOW Monk. It was a decision that I made after sizing up everything I've been through and deciding what I needed in my life, and and going my own way. And so I thought that, it would be fun to talk to who I thought was a purple pill guy, and now I realize he's a blue pill simp.
Oh, he's a total mangina.
Yeah, I didn't see it for a while, because he talks a tough game. He's like, "You're big fucking pussies," and and ain't that right, Dana? Aren't they big fucking pussies? Check check the driveway. Make sure there's no strange cars in it. And anyway, I feel duped, and I will never make that mistake again. I won't. The next time a guy who is not fucking proclaimed red or even black pill says, "Hey, dude, you want to come on my show?" You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, "You know what, dude? You need to go out to the fucking Bay Area and take yourself a nice, big, mind-expanding squat on Big John." But
sorry,
yeah,
I'm kind of
watch
the chat too.
Hey, give me a minute. I got to refill my glass.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'll talk a little bit while you're gone.
Please.
Good evening, Whoosh. Whoosh, have a good night at work. I know you're out. And Whoosh, I understand you'll be bouncing back and forth. So, and not guilty. We're gonna fucking go no contact with Eli, but right now the whole shit is still kind of fresh. So I'll give it maybe one or two more live streams, and then we'll move on to something else because we'll have beaten the dead horse grave enough, as I like to say. That's what Eli does. He doesn't just beat the dead horse; he buries it and then beats the grave. And yeah, you couldn't get us to take that the wrong way because we're logical thinkers, and we don't let our emotions get the best of us. Although on the one hand, I feel like it is beneficial for a man to retain some emotionality, just because we can't all be robots, right? We all feel things, so to not talk about feelings would just be unnatural. But it's when you let your feelings take control of your entire well-being, which some morning roosters are known to do. That's when you end up hitting the wall at Mach speed, or you ride the accident all the way to the scene of the crash, that kind of thing. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come out with a video or a live stream. He was going to name it some female tactic, emotionally deceptive thing about how Rabbit and I are both emotionally unstable. But the thing is, I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure Rabbit can agree. I have a strong command of my emotions. And the thing is I made my stream tonight because he pissed me off to the point that he was hurting a man that I consider a friend in Rabbit and other people that he likes to bash on because they're wrong thinkers. And I don't agree with that. It's nobody's business who donates what money to who. It's nobody's business who is in a foreign country talking about whatever they want. And just because a certain fluffy white bunny decided to donate $20 to a ladyboy fucking possible scam artist, it's nobody's business. It doesn't fucking matter. And he's the kind of person that takes that molehill and makes it to fucking Everest, man. Makes it to fucking Everest. And but that's beside the point. The three of us that are on right now, we can just sit, bullshit, and be men. Isn't that right, Joe Buddy? Isn't that right, Rabbit?
Well,
Go, Joe.
I'd like to just express my amazement at Eli. I had been asking him for a couple months, why the hell is he hanging out talking about MGTOW when he's nothing but?
No, he's not. And I'm not either. So I wouldn't sit here and put MGTOW in all my video titles and pretend that I'm the most red pill of them all. When, I know the stuff, but I'm just a guy. I'm not anything. I'm Nemo. I'm nobody.
Well, I finally got an answer. And that's when he's talking about this Chris Cantu thing, and he's trying to help men. And I'm like, help them from what? And when he was saying that they were brainwashed, what Eli is saying is they're brainwashed in becoming MGTOW. And so Eli is trying to save men from going MGTOW. That's the way his lens of right and wrong is. It's very fascinating. He's hanging out with a bunch of MGTOW people while simultaneously trying to make them blue pill.
Yeah. He's trying to get us all back on the plantation, hoeing rows and fucking single moms like good little boys.
Right, but he's
and
he obfuscates that.
What do they call that? Preaching to the converted? Is that the proper terminology?
Is that you can't? He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, is what he is.
Yeah,
here's a
wolf in Jesus skin is what I'd say.
Hey, you guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I was about to stroke Big John just to see if the light would come on, but my biggest regret about ever accepting Eli's invitation is that I had no idea that he would eventually take it. I didn't realize he was anti-MGTOW, because most purple pill guys aren't anti-MGTOW. They're like, yeah, I know things are dangerous, but I still want to, get it wet, and I'll take my chances. And, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. But, and you guys have heard me say again and again on his channel that if you're young and you feel bulletproof and you think you can get away with it, get your jimmer jammer wet, brother, but because that's what you do when you're young. And frankly, by the time I was done having to do that, I was old enough that it fucking hurt. And I was like, oh my God, I think I'm getting fucking enlarged heart syndrome.
What do they call it? Young, dumb, and full of cum? Because that's what you are. You're invincible. So getting married and doing that shit, that's great when you have no assets or no value. But then when you actually get, a reputation and Howard's gonna come out here. Well, once you get a reputation and a bank account and some assets, that's when you go, say, hey, bitch, I'm not playing your games, all right? And I'm going my own way. So kick rocks and eat a dick and make a sandwich.
I think, well, hopefully she won't make the sandwich first and then, eat the dick, because
that'd be some interesting man glaze on that sandwich.
Yeah, you don't want to get mayo on your jimmer jamma. But I'm not, not guilty is over here, in the chat warning us that Eli's gaslighting both of us now. And I'm sure he's concentrating on me because he knows I have a military background. And to a non-serving fuck like Eli, who would have probably never considered joining the military or serving a cause bigger than himself, a cause that someday could result in his premature death. He's the kind of guy who would hang out in Starbucks and learn the language it takes to suggest that a super emotionally strong man like me, who has seen the worst this world has to offer and can still go home and treat his family kindly without telling them what he's been through, is insane.
And just emotionally unstable. All of us.
Oh, yeah. Except Eli's the kind of guy who fucking trips offline and screams to heaven because Starbucks spelled his name wrong on the cup. The guy can fucking
spelled it cuck. My name is Eli. God damn it. My name is Eli. God damn it.
Lucky for Eli, Mindframe doesn't work at Starbucks, or his name would be or his name would be Knuckle Sandwich.
He'd write Cuck Shady on the cup, piss on it, and punch him in his face, and let that hat fly in the wind. TFC, are you back from behind enemy lines? Were you over on Eli's?
No, I had to run over to the restroom.
Okay, I thought you were going to play double agent for a minute and try to see what was going on any cockle-doo stream.
It just so happened as soon as I left the stream, my thing announced that he went on, and after I got done taking a shit.
Assistly. Did you bang the bell? Did you bang my bell? So you can get all the notifications. So when I go live, Assistly bang my bell so he can see it.
You know, frankly, guys, I thought when I saw Assistly drop out 20 minutes ago, I thought he dashed over to Brandon's house to quote unquote repair the dishwasher.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it because you're not sticking it in yours. I wouldn't with the stolen dick, even if it had AIDS.
No animosity toward the man whatsoever, despite his delusions. But I will not cry my eyes out if Brandon ever comes on and says my dishwasher took someone else's laundry.
We all see it happening, but ignorance is bliss, and he's a young guy, so at least.
Exactly.
But he has shit to lose, though. When I got divorced, I didn't have assets for shit, so I got off a lot lighter. He's going to get taken to the cleaners, and that's more expensive than his dishwasher at home.
Well, realistically, he's in a position where all of us have been before. And, it's just like surfing. When you're up on the section and you're looking down the face of the wave and you're about to drop in, your future has one of two outcomes. You're either going to get the fucking ride of your life or you're going to get taken for the ride of your life. And you don't know which one it is. So good luck to Brandon. I hope it all works great.
Yeah, for his sake, so do I.
Yeah, I don't wish him any ill will whatsoever. I just wish he wouldn't beat it. It would be nicer if he wouldn't beat his chest and tell us all that, you know what I mean.
Oh, Rabbit, what's your prediction for the Cuckster and Dana?
Well, I'm sorry that Eli's not listening in on this stream because apparently he thinks it's more important to gaslight me and Bearded over on his channel.
God damn it! I am listening. You fuckers!
It's freezing out here.
Assholes! God damn it! God damn it! Cuck hat came back out, motherfucker. I'm not gaslighting. You all are fucking pussies. Big fucking pussy. Dynamite Rabbit. Give me your fucking shekels. You big fucking pussy.
And by the way, I'm still standing.
Fuck, I don't know who that was.
Still standing.
You were around this bitch. Oh, Chris Cantu's beautiful hair is here. Eli's nuts on your chins. I'm sure.
Yeah, right. I just put him in timeout because he's a fucking potato.
I can count all the way to potato.
Yeah, right.
1, 2, potato.
Have you all ever seen The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville? Have you seen that movie? Where he tries to make a Special Olympics. And, what was it? My name is Lance, and I like nuts.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bearded, since you took it there, I'm going to go get my nicotine fix, and I hope you'll all still be here in the few minutes it takes me to get back.
Absolutely.
But while I'm gone, you can knock around your cock and nut. You got some cock. You got some balls. Why wouldn't you want to stroke them?
Why don't they want to play with them? They got some balls and some cock. They're all going to laugh at you.
No, they're all going to laugh at you.
Classic Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's an old diss there, man.
Oh, you stuck by a train there, buddy.
Yeah.
A rare instance where TFC's got his camera on.
Wouldn't want to dox myself, right?
No, not at all. What are you driving there? You look low. You look too low to the ground. Men don't drive things that low to the ground.
F-250, bud.
Oh, well, never mind. I stand corrected. Good on you, sir. Blue Oval. That's the way to go, my friend.
That's right. That's right.
You know why Jesus drove a Chevy, right?
No.
Because he walked everywhere.
Oh, he's waving me on. That's mighty wide.
So it looks like you got a newer one there. You driving the gas or the diesel, brother?
It's a company job. Company vehicle.
Oh, looks like it's got the sync system and all the bells and whistles.
Yeah. Yeah, I drive a little meat car. It's Mitsubishi Mirage is what I drive personally.
Jesus Christ. How old is it? Because I'm surprised it's still on the road. Those Mitsubishis, they can't fucking pass a repair station.
Mine's 2015.
Oh, so you probably got about another 6 months before the fuel pump goes out. My ex-wife had a little Lancer, and that thing was a piece of shit. I said, I've not had any luck with a vehicle that wasn't a Ford.
Yeah, well, I only bought it for the, I bought it for mileage, the gas mileage.
Oh, yeah, it's got a 4-cylinder in it, I'm sure. A little Mirage.
I used to have a Ford Ranger, and then I had a Ford Crown Victorias.
Ooh, did you like with the Interceptor package?
I don't know if there's a delay. What the fuck is going on here?
Oh, I think you might be hitting some bad spot there. But the last good car I had before the one I currently have was a 2002 Ranger. I love that motherfucker. I'd still be driving it today if I wouldn't have totaled it via Deere coming home.
Am I
late
back
from work.
on with you?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, anyhow, I had a 94 Ranger, and then I had an 01 Crown Vic. It wasn't the police interceptor model. It was just a civilian model.
It's still a damn good car.
Oh yeah, man, I love that fucking car. To be honest with you, I didn't even want to sell it, but I did anyhow. I sold it for $1,000 cash. Yeah, that was probably the best vehicle I ever owned. It's a shame that Ford quit making them.
Yeah, that was a good goddamn car. I miss my Ranger. That fucking hit a deer one night coming home from work in the middle of the night. Totaled that motherfucker. That was a nice ride. Yeah. And then I had like a Suzuki Sidekick little SUV. That was a good car before it got fucking totaled by a drunk bitch that hit me in front of my old house when I was with my ex-wife. I had just went outside and smoked a cigarette and moved it in the driveway. Not 5 minutes after I went in, I heard a big fucking smash. And my ex, darling that she was, said, "It sounds like somebody just hit your car."
Isn't that nice?
Oh, yeah. This fucking drunk bitch curbed her Dodge and just fucking plowed into the quarter panel of my little Suzuki. And they did a hit and run. Totaled it. Damn. Ever since then, I haven't had any luck with fucking vehicles until my little soccer mom Ford Escape. I love that fucking thing. But between that Suzuki,
okay,
yeah, I call it my soccer mom SUV because it's like kind of like Charles's minivan. It's unassuming, and people aren't looking at it thinking I'm pulling in any kind of money. So it's a really good ghosting kind of car.
So when you go to the supermarket, you don't have girls bending over, huh?
No, they're not looking to get a little Nemo like little Howie gets lots of action at the grocery store because little big Howie is getting a Jaguar. I'm being fancy. I'm not really taking MGTOW to that level. I'm still flaunting it all.
I went behind enemy lines for a moment. Guess who he's talking about.
Is it me yet, or is it Rabbit?
It's Chris Cantu.
No. Oh, so we didn't even get that much airtime. Goddamn.
Man, he's got his balls deep in his mouth. I don't get it.
It's probably because Eli doesn't have much of a gag reflex. So he can only fit so little in. Anybody that's over here that likes Chris, that wasn't really a jab on Chris. It was just a funny thing to say because Eli's a bald, cum-guzzling faggot. But
dude, you're a Chris Cantu Patreon supporter.
I am for $1 for the month of January. So once it takes that out, February 1st, I'm done supporting him. It was just to prove a point because fuck Eli. Wiki Cluck Shady.
I don't know if I'm getting sick or what, but man, I feel fucking freezing cold. Like normally I'm not this cold.
I feel you. I'm the same way. It's like bitter cold here, and normally I could take it like a champ, but today at work they were opening the bay doors.
It's like showing me
It's
to
like
the
right in front
bone.
of my. It's like right in front of my fucking machine. They were opening the bay doors to load up pallets onto trucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, feels like Russian fucking summer out here in here.
I'm telling you, man. Normally it don't hit me like this, but like every time I go outside, it's like hurting my fucking bones. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know about you all over there, but fuck, by Saturday it's gonna be like 50 degrees here in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah, that's what I heard. This truck is saying it's 9 degrees right now.
That's about what it is out here. Joe Buddy, how's Chicagoland weather?
In the ghetto.
I didn't go out today, except to bring in my garbage cans. Yeah, but it's just checking. It's 18 degrees.
Bell of the ball.
18 degrees right now at 8 p.m.
Oh, lucky son of a bitch.
Well, the warm weather usually travels my way to your way, so you'll get the warm weather tomorrow.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be 50 degrees by the weekend, so maybe I can go out in that 50-degree weather and score me some top shelf pussy. I'm going to stack 5 bitches on it.
In the summer time when the weather is fine, you could step right up. You ever hear that tune?
No, but that just reminded me of that old Sublime song.
Yeah, well, you know, Nemo, maybe you can go
and the living's easy.
Hang out at the food court, you know, find some single mother who needs some white knight.
I ain't gonna be no white knight to no single mom, but you know, I'll fuck a single mom if she doesn't want me to meet her kids.
God. Well, you know, Eli says this MGTOW thing is bad for you.
Yeah, Eli also says that sucking dick is good, and I'm not taking that.
What the hell am I listening to?
All right, Brandon, I will give you a Hangouts link. We're only going to go about another 10 minutes, maybe after Rabbit gets back, because I need to take a shower and get ready for bed. So,
someone's breathing deep into their phone.
I want to know why.
Trying to get this lock unfroze.
You're fine. I want to know why Blue Ball Brandon's name comes up in my Hangouts addresses when I type his name to send an invite, but TFC yours still doesn't. Like Joe Buddy's does.
Well, mine's asystole.
I know, but when I type asystole 810, I have to type the whole goddamn email address. I just typed in the letter B, and all of a sudden He-Man Woman Haters Club popped up.
You must not have me added or something. You must not have added me as a friend or whatever.
I didn't add, and you think I'd have him added as a friend before you, my brother?
Or
come on.
I don't know what they call it on that thing.
Maybe is it because we?
With...
I mean, unless do we have a private hangout with just the two of us?
I don't think.
Oh, that might be the reason. I don't know, but I don't have really a private hangout with Brandon other than the times I sent him invites before. Very interesting.
Oh God damn it!
God damn it!
Was that supposed to be the South Park Japanese guy or South Park Chinese guy?
No, that was supposed to be a retarded kid saying very interesting.
Oh, that sounded like
welcome, Shitty Walker. Take your order, please.
I know you'll get the hell out of here.
Dolphin and whale.
Are you both fans of South Park?
I used to. I watched South Park from the day it aired the first time when I was like in 7th grade, all the way up until like season 9 or 10, and then once they started just doing like commentary on like social commentary, it just got kind of dull. I liked when they did their own weird topics.
Like, I'm the opposite. I like the newer stuff about current events. I don't like the old stuff. I think it's just like stupidity.
Oh, I love the old stuff. There are some of the current event ones I like. Remember when the shake weight was really a big thing?
Yeah, cream free.
Cream free, cafeteria free.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
Rabbit, I can't hear you at the moment. It doesn't look like you're talking at all.
What character?
We didn't even think you were back.
What character would Eli be on that show?
Oh, Jesus
He would
Christ.
Maybe Butters?
He would probably be Kyle's dad.
No, Butters is fucking awesome, and so is Kyle's dad.
I was gonna say.
No, he would be Kyle's mom. Coach Eli is Kyle's mom, always ruining the fun for everybody else.
What?
What? Kyle! Oh, you fucker. He would be Kyle's mom for sure. Isn't that right, you guys? Isn't that right, buddy? Yeah, God damn it, you son of a bitch.
I told you to get the fuck out of here. I caught a police.
God damn it, James Taylor. What you doing in here singing about prostitutes to the children?
Did you hear me, Nemo?
Fucking
Rabbit wants you to send him the Hangouts link.
Yeah, I'm sending it to him again.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it still says he's here.
Something must have gone wrong on it.
This is totally fucking frozen.
It's a Google application, so obviously things are going to go wrong and awry from time to time.
It's obviously flawed.
They're taking my monetization away. God damn it! I don't have 1,000 subs.
Would you rather me eat a cuttlefish and asparagus or with the vanilla paste? Vanilla paste!
Eli doesn't have 1,000 subs. That just means he's got to, suck some more dicks.
Just watch out for Scott. He's a dick. That's Eli. It's the Canadian guy Scott who's a dick.
Yeah, and you know
what?
Hello. Hello.
Hola.
Yeah, Rabbit. I hear you, Rabbit. I don't hear anybody else.
You can hear me now?
Yes,
I hear you now.
Can hear you.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know. You can hear me now?
Yeah, it was weird. I know how long it takes to smoke a cigarette, and that's a long cigarette unless you're chaining over there.
It's bullshit.
I haven't had a cigarette since lunchtime today. I'm pretty proud of myself.
My wife chain smokes.
Well, yeah, I had a cigarette since lunchtime today. Well, it wasn't just a cigarette,
I hear like reverb or something.
Yeah, are you listening at the same time, Rabbit?
I think the alcohol's getting to Rabbit.
No, I have the YouTube app open.
No, I'm having trouble figuring out what's going on because I'm not a big shot content creator on YouTube. With like almost 200 subs.
Well, I'm here in the Bay Area, and I know technology. I could teach you how to do technology so you could stream on the YouTube and get money and get monetization.
Well, that's because YouTube's only 15 minutes away.
In the red pill matrix, I know the red pill matrix.
Well, do you have the technology required to turn my TPE doll into a Cherry 2000?
No. That TPE is good stuff, though. That's good plastic.
Well, from what I've heard, TPE feels very realistic for like simulating breasts, but silicone is better for simulating the firmness of a tight ass. So
yeah,
I'm having a real hard time with my buying decisions because I was always a long leg, tight, firm breast man.
Yeah,
and that's pushing me over toward the TPE.
But it's gonna have red hair, right?
Oh, you fucking betcha.
The TPE is nice. Being a former plastics professional myself, it's a really good and it's cost effective. That's why you see a lot of them made out of the thermoplastic elastomer versus silicone. The silicone is a lot more expensive to produce.
Who's that?
That was Mrs. Buddy, I think. The TPE is
Hello?
pretty much just as good, although slightly inferior if you want to use that kind of terminology, but very lifelike. It's a rubber base kind of plastic.
You know what, Bearded?
Yes, sir.
Well, do you prefer Bearded or Nemo?
You can say Nemo. You can say Bearded. As long as you don't call me, as long as you don't call me Eli, we're good.
I like Bearded Nemo.
Fuckface is even more preferred to Eli.
Well, all right then, Nemo. I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm serious about this. Okay, brother?
Yes, sir.
If you never hear anything I say again, I need you to listen to me right now. Okay?
I've got my bourbon ears on, sir.
I would rather have a sex doll made out of rusty nails and old busted up pallets than the actual women I used to be married to. I would rather rub my dick on weathered old nasty ass fucking pieces of wood. Than those money grubbing fucking hewers. So take it with a grain of salt.
I'll take.
I'm just fucking with you, man. TPE is the way to go. TPE is the future.
Until I can afford one of them, their fancy dolls, I'm gonna try to get the real thing, but not too hard because I don't need another money grubbing slur.
You know what?
Gonorrhea. Oh.
There's nothing more I love as a man than rising to meet a challenge. And here's my challenge. I'm going to start setting aside a few shekels, and by June, which is when all the weddings happen, if you haven't found your Walt, I want you to go to the dollhouse and pick out your dream Walt, and I will cover it.
Ooh.
Damn.
So it looks like I'm getting a sex doll in June, fellers.
Fuck yeah. Because unless you found your Walt, in which case I will have to declare you delusional.
Yeah, I've never found a Walt.
Well, Eli found his.
No one has.
The only people that have found their Nawalts, all the Nawalts are married. All of them are married. They're all fucking making sandwiches and sucking their husbands' dicks right now.
That's what makes
every single one of them.
Yeah, that's what makes them Nawalts.
Exactly.
And, see, the thing is, those people, those Nawalts who are doing what you just said, they came from the same box of soldiers who represent all of the good men that all those bitches on YouTube ask about.
Yep, and they're fat and happy and coming in mouths right now. So
yeah, no one in here but us, us guys who realize that there isn't any such fucking thing.
Well, you can't count me.
Well, that's true, Joe. Well,
but
you know what's funny, Joe, is Joe is a man of few words, and I really admire that about him. Only because the words that come from Joe when he's not being interrupted by drunk rabbits are profound. I mean, honestly, since November when I first went on Eli's stream to talk about my road to MGTOW Monk, there are few men that I can think of who contributed so much knowledge with so few words than Joe. And I admire you about that because that's a talent I don't have.
Yeah, that Joe is a very wise man for being a married guy.
Well, I mean, no, but his questions cut right to the fucking issue. Always. Every time Joe comes up and says, Hey, Eli, I'd like to ask you a question. I mean, I shut right the fuck up because I want to hear it.
Yeah. You know, there's. It's like when Whoosh Whoosh pops up. You know, there's going to be some sage wisdom beneath all the fuckery. But with Joe Buddy, there's no fuckery. There's just kind of that sage advice. And with Eli, he knows exactly how to push the buttons. So where Eli is fucking dumbfounded and speechless, which is very hard to do with that womanly man.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Joe asked these questions that on the surface they sound like a practical sort of, right here, right now question. And sometimes those questions, I've noticed, will cause Eli to question his entire existence. And Eli will get like an hour and a half out of Joe's question. And then at the end of it, they'll say, "Isn't that right, baby?" Like
that's right.
Eli will recount his entire fucking cosmological connection to the universe and all of the men that he would take it like a man for. And then ask Dana if that's right. Unreal, And well, you remember from the past months or so streams when I was on there, when the conversation would go that way, I would grunt and groan and fucking curl up into a ball and grab, both hands on my head going, "No, don't answer, don't go there." And I give up on him. I was having a hard time after a month of telling Eli not to worry about Chris Cantu because P.T. Barnum said there's a sucker born every minute. That is a facet of our species, and no one will ever change that. And it's not something you want to pin your crusade on, And every time, like Joe would ask a question or Asystole would make a comment that was just like piercing and right to the fucking chase, and I would have some perspective on it. And you know what I would get? Hey, Dynamite Rabbit, hold that thought. Hey, I just got some breaking news on Chris Cantu. Apparently, Chris Cantu just came up live on his stream, and he's saying that his balls are sweating in public, and apparently that's illegal in Thailand. Chris Cantu's in big trouble, people. Big trouble.
Breaking news on Chris Cantu. He just said the word T. He just said the word A. This is big fucking news, guys. It's a break. He's a scammer. He's scamming you out of your money, man. Give me your money instead. I'll put it to good use and help you guys.
Yeah, it was aggravating as fuck because Joe would ask an absolutely legitimate question. Eli would put us through 15 minutes of bedroom chat talking about how, the dog is a bitch and his tongue isn't tired yet. And when are you gonna get to the subject, please? And
I was busting tornado tongue, isn't that right, baby?
And completely blow off Joe's question. Oh, and by the way, Joe, to answer your question, I just want to tell you, brother, I love you like a brother, and I really appreciate you being here. And the answer to your question is, yes, Elton John. Ain't that right, baby?
That's right.
Hey, sister,
I've never seen anybody. I've never seen anyone other than a woman deflect as much as Eli.
I'm here. I'm just driving back.
That's because he has no substance.
Well, the thing is, you get the video notification. Coach Eli is live, in 10 minutes, and the topic is going to be how we can save the world from a universal apocalypse involving penises and vaginas. And you click on it, and as soon as he comes up, he's like, "Okay, well, let's make sure I got everything going here. Okay, you see the palm trees, so I'm not at my lady Dana's house. I was at Dana's house for the past 3 days, and we sucked and fucked and snorted and went fucking mad. And and by the way, her dog, her dog, even though she's a bitch, you know, that's what female dogs are called. They're called bitches. She's not as much of a bitch as the men I have to deal with in the MGTOW community, okay? So, yeah, that's right. Nice doggy, nice doggy. You know, and we're going to talk about how we can save the world from fucking entropy in the universe in a minute. But first, I want to go to Dynamite Rabbit and find out, you know, what kind of asshole he is. Yeah, it's Groovis. And oh, wait, Dynamite Rabbit, I know you're about to tell us what kind of asshole you are and completely fucking out yourself as a psycho. But first, I want to talk about Chris Cantu.
Here's 8 things about Chris Cantu, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll get to the subject. An hour and a half of streaming later. Oh, guys, you know, we've only got about 20 more minutes here. It's time for me to go and pray to the altar of Dana. So, you know, we'll talk about the topic for about 5 to 10 minutes, guys, and then we'll do final thoughts.
Oh, 10 minutes tops. I mean, you know, yeah, we'll talk about it for 30 seconds and say we talked about it for 5 minutes.
All right, just so everybody is aware, I did drop my PayPal link in the chat, but
Sweet.
This content will always be free should you choose to just enjoy it. But I will, my link is dropped just in case anybody wants to send me them shackles.
You know, if somebody wants to hire you for like an hour of your time for coaching, are you available?
Eli wants to hire me $500 per hour. Actually, he'll get the friends and family rate of only $2,000 per session. Everybody else gets it for free, but Eli has to pay $2,000. Cash.
Might have to hit refresh because when I followed the link, it says, let's try that again. Looks like the link you're looking for doesn't exist yet, period. Or maybe it's a typo.
It's paypal.me/beardednemophilus, but the O is a 0.
You fuck. Oh, man.
It's I'll tell you the reason in private.
No, you don't have to explain shit to me. You know, you're a man's man. Fucking don't tell me nothing. I'll just replace that O with a 0 and we'll be in business, all right?
Yeah, it's a 0. It's a 0.
All righty. Important to know.
This has been a great chat. We'll go another 5 minutes before I end it because I do need to. It's 9:48 p.m. Eastern. I got to get a shower and get to bed because 4 a.m. comes early for this Nemo.
It fucking sure as hell does. I know how that feels.
But you know, some of us that were not retired, like you, Rabbit, so I'm not slight against you, but some of us have real jobs and some of us don't get to life coach and sit at home all day playing on YouTube. And like I said in my last stream, he likes to dog on guys like Jamie, but at least Jamie has a tangible product to sell afterward and has some, you know, something to put in a portfolio because graphic design is actually a field that is in demand. Don't see a lot of people clamoring at the door for a life coach.
Well, the thing is, here's the funny thing about, you know, Are there spaces in your PayPal name, or is it all just Bearded Nemophilus with a 0 in the middle?
It's Bearded Nemophilus with a 0 in it.
Okay.
It should all be scrunched together.
All right, I'm searching. Let's see here. It's not digging your name, man.
Oh,
Jesus Christ! I fucking hate it when PayPal dicks with me. Okay, so what I typed in right now is capital THE.
No capital. Just Bearded Nemophilus.
Ah, fuck me.
Yeah, it seems like PayPal's doing that to you right now.
Yeah. You guys can fuck me all you want, ain't that right?
That's right.
What the hell is it doing? Okay. Well, it's not coming up at all under any combination of that, so we'll just do this later.
Yeah.
Hope you can hold out.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. It's really tough out here in the Ohio Valley, so
I know.
I need all the shackles, guys. I need the shackle chat.
Well, you know what? You know, Bearded or Nemo, Joe, Asystole, anyone. Here's the thing, you know, like I just had this discussion with my dad because he started to whine about the cost of living, right? And I was like, my father has 2.5 retirements and he's doing fine. I mean, he was never a big investor, but you know, he's basically got the federal government and 2 county jobs over a barrel pouring money at him. And I had a discussion with him about 20 years ago. And I said, Dad, are you so insane about the Chargers that you will stay in San Diego despite hell and high water and the cost of living just to be near that fucking stadium? And he's like, son, I'm never leaving San Diego. I've been here since the mid-'70s. You know, this is my home. And I was like, okay, fine.
Not the Chargers home.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, the Chargers moved to fucking L.A. But you know, this was a conversation I had with him years ago. And I said, you know what, Pop, my philosophy is I'm going to get as much as I can out of whoever I slave my ass off for as long as I can. And I don't care whether my retirement's worth $1 million a year or $20 a year. I'm going to find a place where I can be the biggest fish in the smallest pond that I can find. And that's what I did. I mean, where I live now might as well be fucking Tatooine, except that, you know, there's pretty rocks. And I'm happy with it. And I recommend considering that because, you know, you may shoot for the moon in your investments, you know, and your savings, your 401ks, you know, whatever you're doing to secure your future. But, you know, my advice to men who still have the time to make those investments and build that, you know, that base, that financial base to stand on, is that don't piss that away just because you want to live in a fucking swinging, bitchin', never sleeps place like Manhattan, because that town you could make $2 million a year and still get butt raped by that city. Find a place you like that's got scenery you don't mind looking at, and low cost of living, and whatever you've built for yourself is going to go much farther. And you know, and you might even have the capacity to, you know, cast a bunch of that out to others that, you know, you like, other issues you like to support, you know. But for God's sake, don't plan for a, you know, a big retirement and retire in a city that requires a huge retirement. See what I'm saying?
That's good goddamn advice.
Oh yeah, I mean, seriously, if I had retired, if I had the mentality my father has, I'd be playing guitars with an open case in front of the fucking, you know, drugstore to supplement my retirement.
We need to have a finance live stream sometime, because I think I could learn a lot from you, Rabbit, and even young buck like TFC over there, Mr. 6 years younger than me.
Well, TFC seems to know more about finance than I do. You know, I hired people who knew what they were doing because I recognized that I didn't know shit.
Now that's what I need to do when I get some extra money, because I need to start investing so I can move out to the Dakotas whenever I can retire, once my son's old enough.
Yeah.
And live like a fucking king.
You betcha.
I love my kids, and then I love money. It's an easy subject for me to. It's an easy subject for me to study on.
Yeah. Well, you know what we ought to do is, I mean, I'm not a YouTube creator, and I don't know how to do any of this shit other than, you know, answer the Hangout link and say hi. But I think a live stream about financial options between Asystole and you know, Charles might be a really productive conversation.
Oh, fucking A, it would. Both of those guys together would be like a powerhouse. And if Blue Ball Brandon could calm his blue balls down and talk just money,
I'll invest.
That could be like a trifecta. I
can out invest every one of you motherfuckers all night until sunup, and and my financial company will want to smoke a cigarette when I'm done.
All jokes aside, I think if he would calm that shit down, he could actually give a couple good pointers. If the three of them would want to get together and do that, I would host that on my channel, or Charles could do on his new channel.
Well, no doubt about it.
Other guys would be quiet.
Yeah, his dishwasher's gonna have to shut up,
and I'm gonna have to shut up. But the I would be happy to find out what Brandon does with his man life, because getting doggy styling your wife into ecstasy is not my measure of manhood. I mean, we haven't been a continuous species for 1 million years with 8 billion of us on the planet now. If there wasn't a whole shitload of fucking guys who knew how to fucking drop the dick.
Yeah, it's Joe Rogan said it best when he talked about the pyramids in one of his comedy shows. And he says, I think here's my theory. I think that people used to be really, really, really smart, but the dumb ones just outfucked the smart ones. We are all the sons of the retarded stoneworkers of Egypt that just went, oh, look, I made a little person. He looked just like me. Oh, I'm winning. More people. And one of the smart guys that designed the pyramids invented a robot fuckdoll and just never talked to another human being again.
Right. Well, I don't.
He says nobody's in Paducah, Kentucky, because Paducah's the shit. So they were heading toward California, and they just got, oh, I'm tired. Let's stop here and fuck.
Well, that's funny.
And it's true. Paducah is not the shit. I've been through it several times. It's a shithole.
Oh yeah, I've driven.
Michael Carneal was there.
Yeah, I've driven through there before. Yeah, that's funny because I'm not like one of these super smart guys like Thinking Ape. But my grandfather made sure that he rubbed my nose in everything that had historical significance. So, growing up, I mean, I was reading all that and shit, and Francione's translation of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and I think part of that is because early in life I recognized that the world was a motherfucking dangerous place, and it didn't give me a real dark point of view because I was like, well, there's still surfing and chicks who put out, it's not all that bad. But I read all that shit, and one of the things that I think now that I look back at it, when you look at like the Giza Plateau and the Parthenon, and other like just amazing ruins around the world. I think Joe Rogan is onto something there because, it was the few who built that shit, and everybody else was breeding a future for the Sam Walton Corporation. It's like, okay, we built the Parthenon. No one else will ever figure out how we got it done. But, people will be able to check themselves out at Walmart if they have an IQ of 85 or above.
My daughter calls me Mr. Krabs because he loves money.
Yeah, money. Hey,
do you like that?
Why aren't you on the grill making Krabby Patties, making me money?
She goes, you're like, Dad, you're like Mr. Krabs.
But do you like that?
Do I like what?
Do you like that nickname?
Mr. Krabs?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like one of your wife's boyfriends.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it don't bother me, I guess.
Hey, Cicely.
Mr. Scrooge or Uncle Scrooge.
Next time your daughter says that, cut her, tilt your head down, look at her out of the corner of your eye, drum your fingers together and say, excellent.
Oh, yes. Monty.
Yeah.
Monty Burns over there in PA.
Idiocracy.
In this day and age, in this day and age, from the my friends and other people that I socialize with occasionally, it occurs to me that no matter how smart your kids are, you've got to if your kids have been pumped so full of smart, that they're going to debate you into the basement based on their programming. The only thing you can do is come off as quietly, subtly evil, and they will fucking do what you tell them to do. I mean, this is just what I've seen from my neighbors. It's like, when in doubt, be evil.
Is it an evil petting zoo, Scott?
I like money. I like money.
Is it an evil petting zoo?
On the whole, Preparation H feels good.
Did you take time to stroke the evil goats?
Everybody out of the room. I need a private moment alone with Scott. Not you, Frau. Not you, number 2. Not you, gold member. Not you, henchman turning knobs. Not you, henchman arbitrarily holding wrench.
It got weird, didn't it?
The little one does not know he is small. That's some classics. But guys, it's 10 o'clock here on the East Coast, and it's time for me to take a shower and get my bearded Nemo ass to bed. But it's been fun, guys. This was a much more enjoyable stream for me to do, where I'm not yelling about people that don't fucking matter. So we'll do final thoughts. We'll start in my normal fashion. We'll go Assistily, we'll go Dynamite, we'll go Joe Buddy. Then Dullard Hair will take us out for the evening. So Assistily, what are your final thoughts on the stream tonight?
I like money.
President Dwayne Mountain Dew Camacho over there.
No, everything was good. It was an excellent stream. Good night on YouTube as always, and curious to see what that goofball Eli was saying earlier. That should be interesting.
That was my impression. He can do his own self when you're done.
Yeah, man. Anytime you guys want to talk finances, that's my little honey hole, so to speak.
Fucking A.
All revved up.
Great.
Well, that's good, because I do want to do a lot more topical-based streams where we actually, not just shoot the shit, but we actually talk about things that are useful to men that might be, stumbling in. We got 7 people in this shit show right now watching. So,
thanks for having me, though.
Anytime. You and Joe Buddy are pretty much mainstays on my stream. So, and hopefully we'll pick up Rabbit too. So, it's a good 4-way. No homo.
The 4 Musketeers.
Yeah. We went from the 3 amigos to the 4 Musketeers. So, anyway, thanks to Cicely for joining us and your thoughts, and we'll move along to the furry exploding rabbit.
I'm actually, this was good therapy for me, because it's always fun to get together with some dudes and have a few laughs. But I would love to hear Charles and Assistily, spend an hour talking about, things that they think are beneficial for, particularly for young men to start doing, right away, and for, older men to do things like, let's say you take a guy who, he's pretty good with money, but he's either lost everything or he just hasn't gotten where he needs to be, and he only has 25 or 30 years to make it happen. I would love to hear about products that can perform like that too. But anyway, thank you, Nemo. I really appreciate you coming on tonight and hosting this chat, because in a perfect world we could we could all just hang out in a loft with a pool table and some darts and a keg and fucking do it 3D.
But unfortunately, the way the world works now, it seems like we all have to, do it over the wires, which is, I still appreciate that too.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's good. It's good anyway, because bringing like-minded kind of gentlemen together with different experiences is always good. So any way it can happen is much appreciated. You're always welcome on my streams. So anytime you're around and I'm going, you're welcome to join in on the chat. So thank you, Rabbit, for showing up, and glad that we can provide whiskey mouth. Provide some therapy for you tonight, because I know we all needed it after the week we've had so far in the YouTube lives we have. God, first world problems, right? Let's talk about our white guy problems. Well, we've had a hard week on YouTube, everybody. And it's only as George Carlin would have said, I'm going to open up a series of chain restaurants called Holy Shit, It's Only Wednesday. HSIOW. So thanks, Rabbit, for coming on. Joe, buddy, you've been sitting stoically waiting, so we'll get your final thoughts, then Dullard will come close it out.
My final thoughts are, going back to your last live stream. If Eli listens to this part of this stream, I have no hard feelings towards you, Eli. But gosh, I'm just tired of listening to you talking about Chris Cantu and a whole bunch of other dumb shit. No hard feelings, Eli.
Oh, you're soft shoeing around there. Good strategy.
Well, I did say he talks about a lot of stupid shit, and I'm tired of hearing it.
That's true. Not everybody can be as full of piss and vinegar as I was tonight. So we'll chalk it up to you're being the very calm, stoic Grecian philosopher, as it were, although no homo. If we're speaking of Grecian philosophers. So anyway, this is Dullard Hair, and thanks for stopping by, MGTOW, man. We had a good stream tonight. Nemo, he was very upset earlier in the evening and decided to turn to the drink for some liquid courage and emotional support, and it turned out great. He's a little wasted right now, so that's why I'm here. I'm just browsing the grocery stores for these women so they can tempt me with their breasts and their asses and their assets, because little Howie likes that. He gets a good rise out of it, pun intended. And hashtag HowieDickCheese.com.org/dickcheese. Anyway, the shill alert over. It was a good stream, and Rabbit was here, and Assistally, and Joe Buddy, and Nemo, of course. And we talked about things and some stuff, and had some laughs. We went through some retro things, sock puppets, and hot women that do YouTube channels, and shackles, of course, and of course, Coach Eli, who also, Nemo, has no hard feelings toward the guy. Hopes that he does great, and hopes that he changes his direction, his format. Maybe he will reach those 1,000 subs and can get the shackle chat as he always wanted. And I'd like to thank everyone for showing up tonight. Essentially 810, Dynamite Rabbit, Joe Buddy, and of course the Bearded Nemo Philist. It was a great stream. And as always, I'd like you to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you click the bell so you get all notifications, as I do plan on having new content for you. With that said, good night, MGTOW. Good night, men. This is Dullard Hair.